What is going on, Foam Fam? Is your boy Not Enough? It's been a minute, but we're back with a very special video today. Siren was nice enough to send us their 3 brand new blasters. I'm pretty sure you have already heard about this company. They dominated the airwaves with their announcement of 3 ultra long range blasters. We got 2 pump action models, 1 electric model. We got a lot of material to cover, so let's get started. I was originally going to do this video with all 3 blasters at once, but these blasters are so feature rich that I ultimately decided to do 1 per video, just so they can get the proper spotlight they deserve. In today's video, we're going to start with the Gnarl, a compact pistol hand cannon style blaster. This one is unique in particular because instead of having the mag and grip like most pistoloid blasters have, this one has a conventional mid-body mag well like you would see on a larger SMG style or carbine style blaster. Very interesting little product. We're gonna get it out of its box, get our initial impressions, do some testing, get some performance stats on it, and then I'm gonna give my lasting impressions. All right, guys, so we're gonna go by model number. The Gnarl is the 11931, the Mauler is the 11932, and then the Blink, respectively, is the 11933. So it only makes sense to go in order of possibly even the design. Very nice eco-friendly packaging from what I could see so far. Got these little recycled material clamshells over here. These clips pop off very easily. You just squeeze and pull. Then once all side clips are off, you literally just open the clamshell just like that. Nice feeling plastic. I see some paint already here. We got the Siren logo, which is actually painted onto the blaster. The Gnarl logo is painted onto the blaster. These white accent areas here are painted onto the blaster. Very good feeling material. I do have to look into the type of material that this is, but I can see that it is pretty nice quality. I do like the fact that the paint is reproduced on the other side, something that we can definitely say we rarely see on a lot of blasters. A lot of companies just cheap out on something that is otherwise so simple to do, but so many people just pass on it. Got a neat little front sight included, which has a little through hole design in addition to the rear notch sight. Makes targeting pretty simple. I like that feature. Includes 5 of these EPP darts and a 5-round mag as well. Mag insertion is just like any other blaster of this kind. Conventional mag release, you could just depress it with your middle finger. Magazine comes right out. It is not gravity drop. It has a little bit of a friction to it. I could appreciate that. Some gameplay scenarios, I'd rather the magazine not gravity fall. I feel like I have more control of my game sometimes when I could just do the deed myself. I'd say about a 2/3 Picatinny rail on the top of the blaster. Seems to be about a 20 to 22 millimeter standard Picatinny rail as well. So if you have any other optics you'd like to use in lieu of the factory iron sights, you can go for that. The prime on this blaster is a pullback prime. It's located in the rear of the blaster and can be actuated using your index finger. You pull back and then you do have to return the prime forward like we've seen in other blasters. I mentioned this on the Vision. However, it's nice to see that this blaster has a little guide rod right here. Very easy operation. You just return it and then you are ready to fire. I can confirm that the blaster does work with standard worker Talon mags. Here's a 10 rounder, went in no problem. Came out no problem, and it's a breeze to use. Blaster does have a safety in the form of the simple switch right here on the handle. It is a mechanical safety, so that means that when you flip the switch on, you physically cannot pull the trigger back. Personal preference, I do like this kind. It's very child-proof and it's very dumb-proof as well. If you can't pull the trigger, safety must be on. Besides these components, you do have a full instruction manual and some ergonomic eye protection, which Siren recommends using at any time these blasters are being operated. Common sense would also say so, but it's easy to get carried away sometimes when you're playing around. These blasters do not mess around, guys. Definitely protect the only 2 eyeballs you got. We're gonna run outside and do some shooting with this thing, but first I do want to emphasize on something I said earlier. Because this blaster does not have the mag and grip and it has it in the center of the body, it allows the manufacturer a lot more freedom and flexibility in making the grip more accessible for a broader range of hand sizes. And the way they went about this design was also genius. As you can see, they were able to go thin here on the neck of the grip right before the trigger guard, and then towards the bottom they kind of flared it out to a bigger size. In the case of me, for example, that I have bigger hands, if this grip was narrow the whole way through, it would feel too small. but since it has this flare down here, it's just right for me. This would also benefit somebody with smaller hands, where the only part of the grip where their hand would occupy would be the narrow part, and it's just perfect and ideal for them. So this was a really thought out design, and I have to thank the engineers and designers over at Siren for coming up with something that not only looks cool, but actually has some kind of functionality in the world of ergonomics. Also, major brownie points on the sci-fi aesthetic. These blasters look far from conventional firearms in the sense that they throw a very futuristic appeal. This white cylinder with these black corrugated stripes right here, this little grip part right here on the bottom, these little windows with orange paint, all these design cues combined with this bright green aesthetic just make this blaster stand out as a blaster, which it should, especially given that these have such a high power range, which we're about to see in the next couple of tests. So kudos to Siren on that. So far, I'm very pleased with the way it feels in the hand, the way that the quality of the plastic feels. Now let's just see if all these looks go towards some kind of decent performance. On to the tests. All right, guys, so the pull prime, some may consider that it is a little stiff, especially for the way that the prime is designed. You literally can only put one finger in here, maybe two if your fingers are skinny enough, but still it's quite the chore for somebody younger, I could imagine, pulling this back. Pushing forward, of course, is just repositioning the plunger tube. It's not a hard task, but that pullback might be challenging for some. I thought I'd mention that so that you approach this with that mindset. I set the target at 40 feet, which is average engagement range even at competitive games, especially for a pistol. So we're gonna see how she does. Let's go. So I'm pretty pleased at the overall general area where this is hitting. It's not a surgical accuracy. That's kind of typical for sealed breech blasters that have no scar barrel. I do like the fact that this muzzle is designed in a way that you can easily 3D print an adapter that can fit over this area here. You could easily add a scar for this barrel. It is intending the general area that you want to hit, which with Nerf, it's actually pretty impressive, especially at a blaster of this kind of power. We're going to find out exactly how much power in the chronograph after this test. Let's get it, guys. So my lasting impressions for a non-in-grip mag-fed pistol blaster, this ticks all the boxes for me personally. I know there's gonna be people with different tastes out there that whether it's the aesthetic or the form factor or one thing or the other, they're gonna like it or not for their own reasons. I think value-wise, as a gateway product into the Siren blaster line, this is the way to go. The Gnarl hits hard, 150 FPS from a stock pistol right off the shelf, especially for a blaster line that doesn't identify itself as pro. This is the only and mainline blaster line that Siren as a company is distributing for the time being. Like I mentioned earlier, the sci-fi aesthetics, it all comes together very nicely with a combination of colors, painted on decals, and painted sections of a blaster on both sides, which right off the bat is something that a lot of companies, if not the rest of the competition, has not and is not doing just yet. I do hope that a complementary accessory line is in the future of Siren. I'm pretty confident after they see the kind of reception this kind of product has and will continue to have, they'll move forward with something like that. But for now, I can say that this is an outstanding value for the going price right now of $24.99. You can pick this up at Target online, or you can go directly to the Siren website. I'll have links down in the description. It's got my recommendation. I hope you guys are looking forward to the next video, which we're gonna cover the pump action bullpup mauler. Really excited about that one. The blink will be to follow. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.